request by Cats Playing. Hoping this finds you well.
So what are those fruits?
They look like lemons a little, but I can't tell what they actually are. I don't know. I don't really know. Let's go.
The 5th of anti-spring?
Is it click or...
to Dr. Holly Faraday?
It's space, which is good.
Yeah, and then you can slide. My most earnest and warm-hearted congratulations on the doctorate. I think you can just keep pressing for. Your anxieties were utterly uncalled for, my friend, and your medical degree was an inevitability. I realize that in the face of that which we most desire, it can seem the height of folly to assume, but the acceptance of your thesis was not luck, but written stone. It is merely the logical progression of your efforts and unsurpassed cleverness. Oh, cleverness.
Yes,
that looks like an E and an E.
Whoa.
Look at him. You're not telling the truth.
It wasn't you. So it was cloveness.
What a bold thing you've done, submitting that early draft of your thesis to me out of the blue with what I cannot characterize other than to call it a demand.
It would be cloonerness. If it was you.
Before that day, I had not heard of the name Faraday, and it is with the same strange sense of fate that I assume I shall not be forgetting it anytime soon.
Ugh.
I fear that my previous paragraph might come across as something of a complaint, some sort of backhanded bit of unpleasant pleasantry. 1,000 apologies. So he writes 10 more letters just to apologize.
Yes.
It is hard to comment on a temperament that breaks with social norms without sarcasm seeming to enter the mix. But your correspondence is frank, insistent, and always amusing. What seemed a novel turn of arrogance was proved to be warranted self-confidence. As soon as I read your writing, I wrote immediately back, and you got it a week later. This is all to say that I regard you with the highest esteem, and want to assure you that the name of Faraday, rising in the academic world, is a singular turn of good fortune for the academic establishment at large. You're very, very good at writing. And to that end, I write to inform you that I have submitted that most esteemed of names to my superiors.
Yes.
I told them you'd do a good job. Between my students and my own external research, I will require rather a lot of assistance and have requested that the office indulge me with an assistant professor.
No,
Is it going to be them?
I just noticed the clouds are moving.
Yeah, the background actually moves. And their face changes a lot. You will no doubt be getting offer after offer for employment, but it is my sincerest hope that you might consider coming to work in my department of the University of Aniantich.
Yes.
Its reputation is no doubt known to you, and even if the department is not to your liking after some 3 or 4 years here, you have to stay here for 3 or 4 years. That's the contract. If you don't like it, we can't do anything. You would be able to take your pick of recommendations as you continue in your career. Write to me when you can, and if the idea of joining is adherent, I shall wipe the idea from my mind and never again mention it. You could say it's a bad idea if you want to.
Exactly. I'll hear it later.
I'll hear it in a week when I'm already trying to get you to work for me. But if it is pleasing to you, then I shall update you on the progress and assist you in beginning your application. I remain, as always, very truly yours, Harold Lunenkel? Harold. MD.
Yeah, there's an L. I thought it was like explanation.
DCL.
Yeah.
LLD. HRF.
You gotta put all the copyrights.
Professor of supernal biology.
Ah.
Now it's dark. While reading, you can click the stamps to drag letters right and left.
Huh.
This will allow you to experience 2 different times. The letter is this. Yeah, the letter is as is being written.
Yes.
And the letter as is being read.
Hmm.
Use your mouse wheel or the page up button on your keyboard to scroll back and reread a letter or a passage from a new perspective.
Hmm.
And
No, it's just the halftime. Is this me?
yeah.
The 9th of Anting Spring 1904. My dear Professor Ludenkehl. I've only just received your letter, and I'm responding as rapidly as possibly as I can. We're only making port for as long as it takes to resupply. You speak of fortune, but I commend my own sense of opening your letter as soon as it was handed to me. And now, I hope that my haste will not render my entire response illegible. Yes, 100 times is not enough, but you understand me. You speak very humbly about the University of Antich. Und wind. Und when there's when there's not an academic who does not dream of entering the establishment.
So you're saying yes?
No.
He writes another couple pages and says, sorry, no.
I could not hope to afford to attend, and at times it feels as though all eyes are willfully passed me over. But you seem fit. You
look fit.
You seem fit from this picture you gave me. Very muscular. To have me there, working alongside giants, all the same.
He's actually like 4 foot. So everybody's tall to him.
He's just on a tiny ship. Take the unceasing enthusiasm you have for my work and use it to impress upon your superiors that I will have that job.
You're out of breath after every sentence.
Yes, that I will absolutely not be foiled in my desire for it. It was a kindness of you to assist me with my thesis, and I will demand the kindness once more.
I don't want to read another one of your papers. The other one took forever.
This will need to be brief. The captain is calling all the hands to return. Expect a long letter to follow. I will write one on the ship.
It's going to be a 20-page essay.
Know that I consider you to be, and hope that you see in turns as your friend, Howley Faraday, MD.
Oh, you only get like 1 title. I get like 7.
Yes, you get several because you're in the university.
And also mine was way longer than yours.
Yeah.
Now it's the 16th. My dear Dr. Faraday, I've received only the 1 letter in this past week, but as I have news, could not wait a moment longer to share it with you. The head office has conferred and trimmed my list of candidates for assistant professor. They had the most proficient sense not to strike your name, as it remained when the list was returned to me.
Well, one thing is the letters on my side for him and the letters on the other side for the one I read. So it's just the perspective.
I was given the final selection and refused any time with which to deliberate. You may now choose at your leisure whether you wish to respond to the title of doctor or assistant professor. And then you get lots more letters in your name. The term starts the 2nd of autumn, and I would be most pleased to welcome you some 2 to 3 weeks early, so that you might settle in and come to know the basics of educating university students. The matter is settled, and I await your questions, and in time your arrival. Regarding a different matter, I ran out of ink. So this is as far as I go. I do hope that you are safe. I don't mean to hover over you like some worrying hen, but you had mentioned that you were at sea currently, sailing beyond the eastern coast and the canal. So I learned how to meditate and put myself hovering over you to watch what you're doing at all times.
The easier explanation is just Lion King.
Yeah,
He's
just
up in the clouds.
Look up to the clouds and see him looking like that.
Yeah, we'll make a shape of him.
They're the most dreadful reports of piracy along those shores.
Oh.
So many video games being pirated in the seas.
Yes, bootleg and everything.
Even this game, it's bootleg now. No, even though it's free.
And bootleg books like Horton Hears a Hoot. Howie Hears a Hoot. By Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss.
No, that's a different book. I find myself revisiting my childhood eagerness for tales of seafaring adventures. Shame burning my face to think on how carelessly I enjoyed to hear tales of storms and bloodshed.
Oh.
Never once had I stopped to think how grisly they might be for those unfortunates who found themselves in the midst of such events. So many bodies left in sea. Hoping you're not one of them. I would be thinking on you and praying to one of our local gods for your safe return.
I just want to see. Because how do you do that?
No, I think when the letters go, then you can slide them. Because you're supposed to be able to, like, slide them, but when those appear?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I want to see that effect. It's like, it's been dormant.
Yeah, it's basically so that you can read that part and I can read the part, and then it's different.
Oh, okay.
I do hope that it will not vex you too much, and admit that it is likely more for my peace of mind than it is out of genuine superstition, that it might rescue you from the grip of ruffians. Just crumple this paper and throw it at their face. It's very deadly. Forgive an aging man his little rituals, and trust that I do remain your friend, Dr. Harold. Oh, now you don't put all the titles.
Haha, delivered.
Your 500 titles.
The 20th of Ante Spring, 1904. My dear Professor Lucifer, Ludi.
I shall call you Ludi now.
What an excellent news. Even better than that which I inform you now. While I cannot claim to have been untroubled by pirates,
They shot at me.
I will state that I am sound and as safe as one can be at sea. I remain largely below deck, though it does please me to emerge at night. The farther one sails from the coastline, the less light pollution there is. And once again, the grand expanse of the constellations emerge, and all is peace.
All is space. Just look outside.
I prefer the night time. I have a condition of the skin, a lack of pigment, which certain certain collegiate, dusty-wigged fools deemed unfashionable. I hope that you are not the same mind and do not take this chance to withdraw your job offer.
Belonging or relating to a college or its students.
So yeah, so that's why it's the powdered wigs of all them J's.
That does not help me translate it at all. Like, not translate, but pronounce it.
Collegiate. Put it on speaker, let's hear it.
Collegiate.
Collegiate.
Oh.
That's it. Never seen.
Collegiate. Collegiate.
Yeah, don't really.
Collegiate.
Don't really see it spelled out or anything.
Well, I don't think we even knew that word existed. Yeah.
Collegiate. I remember hearing it once or twice, but that's about it.
Yeah, but hearing it doesn't mean anything. I heard it 3 times right now, and I don't remember.
I also cannot stand here calling yourself aging. You may be my superior in academia, but I have done my diligence. Your age is scarcely 7 years my senior.
You're only 7 years older than me.
Yeah. What is that? That compels men in their 30s to call themselves old. I cannot understand.
Well, I'm almost 30.
I suppose all ages that are not youth or freshly marriageable are considered dead in the water, eh?
That's like 100 years ago.
Well, yeah. Well, 100 or something.
Well, it was 1904.
Yes. Well, barring any additional surfacing or seafaring catchphrases, I should hope to reach that age myself in a year. And I assure you, I am not yet prepared to be bagged and splashed overboard.
Huh.
Perhaps as the bell chimes midnight in the year's time, it will all become clear to me. Bearing that, I will ask you very firmly to wait until your hair is graying before affecting my dear friend with such libel.
Start dyeing his hair gray.
Mine's already white, due to stress.
Yeah, I already have white hair. I'm not even 30.
Yes. I have seen your photograph attached to one of your monographs.
So he has seen him.
And when I picture you, oh my, it is in the rosy hue of mature, vigorous state. He could be nothing short of that, I assure you.
You look very short in the picture.
I just add my own picture. Regarding the prayers of my safety, do as you wish. The sailors make offerings, wear charms, and sing their prayers in the night. And for their efforts, we are granted smooth waters and a strong wind. The sea and the winds are not without hearts of their own, and if your local god will put it in good word with them, I see no reason to do anything but accept it.
Your local Sonic god.
Yes, Sonic, Lord Sonic. He is the greatest.
Yeah, he's looking through the window.
Yes.
See if you're okay.
He's okay.
You have to sacrifice a chili dog to him.
On that subject of that, your thesis was the super non-chemical.
It was on the super
non-chemical similarities between shrines, churches, and locals where demons and other such creatures make their habits. The presumption that demons and gods belong in a similar class of creatures is not a new one, but I was impressed by the rigorousness of your data collection, and especially the section which democratic locals were cataclysms or unsavory acts and acts had occurred. You did not draw the conclusion yourself, but I cannot imagine that it hadn't been at least noteworthy to you. One might accept a church to register highly on your list, but it was instead a prisons, poorhouses, and asylums and battlefields which were of note.
You look way too happy about that.
Yeah. I read from some of your detractors who have read between the lines, calling your results blasphemous. Vibrating phone. They are filled with studies that attempt to explain away your results, but they do not. They do little more than affirm your feelings in my eyes. To that end, I have been taking my own readings, as I've traveled and plan to bring the fruits of my labor along with me. I realize that your own thesis may be of interest, which has passed you by. But if there's a chance that it may be assist in your current undertaking, I should be happy to put it in use. If not, then I will be happy to publish privately, and your work will have one more cross-entry of support. Fret not, it is if there is a gap between my letters.
I am lost at sea. Don't look for me.
It is the ocean between my legs. It is the ocean which deprives me of the opportunity, and the disinterest of my part, who remains to be Fart. Your good friend, Harley Friendly, Assistant Professor of Supernal Biology.
That's like the most normal one.
I know, but my throat.
The 1st of mid-spring, 1904. Now it's night. My dear Professor Hawley Farderman, you flatter me immensely, believing that I had not already begun to gray in my mid-20s. It is a common affliction of the high-stress lifestyle of academia, but one easily rendered mute with the regular application of dye.
Yeah, it's just moot.
Yeah. I understand what it is like to not measure up to an expected image of a man, and frequently when a man is condensed down to words, the mind's eye of another is much kinder to him. He was really focusing on that. Mm-hmm. Your flattering image of me is, I believe, one such kindness.
Yes.
My own visage has a long way to go before it appears either rosy or vigorously manly.
Oh.
Had we met on the street, I would like to think that I would have still been taken aback by your brilliant mind.
Yeah,
is his mind that good?
Yes.
Just walking by, and you're fascinated by him.
Yes.
His huge head.
He's glowing.
His head is on fire with thoughts. But being the fallible humans we are, it is very likely that some bias would have prevented the growth of our blossoming friendship or our joint studies. He crashed. And to that end, I would welcome any readings you might bring with you. You have seized upon the foundation of my latest work, and though I dare not write about it in these early stages, my current results appear most promising indeed. While you have been taking these notes and measuring chemical levels, have you run into any supernatural creatures? Have you looked out the window and saw ghosts? Were I a betting man, I would wager good odds that your results show the super chemical levels rise around reports of demonic activity, and that those reports also tend to come from seedier or more wretched locals. That, like, right there was sweating or something.
Well, yeah, like big sweat marks on his shoulder.
No, because it looked like it was like a really big, just dark spot right there. Yeah, too excited.
Hot under the collar.
The Aniatic. We are naturally aware of their existence, but they are, as a rule, covered up or destroyed as promptly as possible. Whatever gods may exist, have the good sense to keep themselves hidden, for if their visages are half as gruesome as those of the demons we can find, I assume that all worship would promptly cease. Of course, these little thoughts of mine are more of the same blasphemies with which the churches have taken such deep issue. I ask but you keep these bits of conjecture between the two of us. I am operating under the assumption that the difference between demon and God is not one of kindness, worthiness, or love toward humanity as a whole, but instead merely one of size. Oh. Demons are huge and gods are tiny, or gods are huge and demons are tiny.
Yes.
I am certain that several worshippers of polytheistic religions across the globe would be in agreement with me, and it is an acceptable theory to teach here at the university.
They're as big as one of those, basketball players. Very big. Just to put it out there.
Was there basketball in 1904?
No. Basketball isn't that old, I think.
I don't know.
Because I think it was, like, even freaking baseball was, like, the 20s, 30s.
How old is
27.
basketball? Okay, the game was invented by Springfield College instructor and graduate student James Naismith in 1891 and has grown into a worldwide athletic phenomenon we know it to be today. So yeah, there was basketball. Just, I don't know how tall it is.
Yeah, nobody would be that tall. I don't think so.
But outside institutional walls, the Church of Unanimate followers disagree so vehemently that to utter the truth to their ears is to begin a raging argument. Thus, there persists the delicate balance of teaching my own findings and not raising the hackles of some of the school's more affluent and pious donors. So already my research does not come without certain outrage from some corners. But what comes next is what I truly must request you to keep quiet about, for if we are to follow this line of scientific inquiry, where next shall we take it? I suppose we shall make a small game of it, Assistant Professor Faraday. What is to be done next, keeping in mind what our research has told us?
I wanted to see what that sounds like.
Unominant.
Nominate?
Unominant. 優等生.
That's Japanese.
It is with the utmost eagerness that I await your next letter and trust that I remain, as ever, your good friend. I'm better now. We're good friends.
Yeah.
Next is going to be great friends.
Turn down the intense music. It's going in between.
Oh, he's above.
I'm happier on this side.
Can we actually, like...
What? Ah, like that. Hey, where'd I go? No! God, no! Oh, even the music changes there.
So yeah, we could actually like switch between them.
Alright, I need to see it a bit clearer. Back there. Good enough.
So yeah, we could have been switching between them and seeing how their reactions were.
Yeah, I wanted to see how his reaction was with the demons. A simple game you propose.
Presupposing
that gods grow from demons and that demons can be found in unsavory areas. What is the next line of inquiry?
Let me see. Nope, I can't do that.
No, if you could do
That would have been way easier.
Yeah, instead of the drag.
But it's supposed to be more like you're actually...
Yeah, well, you got your hand pushing it.
It's more interactive.
Yeah. The entrepreneur would have asked where there might be found and a way to market this knowledge, how to profit off of it. The charitable types would ask how we might use our findings to prevent further harm to the less fortunate, those whose homes are attacked and terrorized by demons. But we are seekers of truth, are we not? There is not enough data to accomplish anything yet. We do not yet know why demons seem drawn to areas where one might expect suffering to occur. Though I would hazard a guess that the entire train of thoughts is backwards. That demons might not be not be drawn to them, but that these places might be their genesis. In the monotheist,
Monotheist.
monotheistic religions of the content, there is always a supreme deity who has made all. But if man does not come from God and gods come from man, your average monotheistic worshipper could no doubt cease contributing to that collection plate. Especially if you seem to be implying it is the less noble sentiments which birth such beings.
Wonder how he was looking when he read that.
Beans! How did you like it?
Like that.
Like that. If gods are born due to agony, then it paints a very grim picture of our existence, does it not? Very circle of you. You need to click there. I needed to switch. But it matters very little whether you are a cynic or a optimist. It matters only whether you are right. And this is the line of inquiry that, even if your hypotheses are proved wrong, we'll hear some fascinating data. The music.
Okay, I can't do that.
Yes. Fascinating data. You haven't convinced me. But I look forward to research, and nonetheless, your friend. Oh, P.S. It comes to my mind right now that my answer might, in fact, be wrong. That my line of logic could be far from your requested answer, and that I will have to have penned something inherently blasphemous that even you will balk.
No, he's pretty good.
He's doing pretty good. But I think not. You and I are too alike in mind for me to have arrived to this wrong conclusion. You are like a gentleman, but there is something wild in your way of thinking. Yeah, you did. There it goes. Yes, you need to react. And as for myself, I am much too clever to have erred. That's pretty neat. Oh, my leg! Ow! Ah! Now he's outside.
The 27th of mid-spring.
Yeah.
My most dear and clever Professor Faraday, it is arrogant to know that one is correct, surely not. It is a measure instead of confidence, and sign that they see clearly. Forgive my trepidation. This little test was necessary, for I have heard my ideas called unthinkable, and wished and wish to ensure that your mind was quite capable of thinking as mine does. Can you imagine my delight upon reading as you both passed my test and alighted upon my motivation?
Who's the other?
It is a wondrous thing to hold a secret in one's heart, and without uttering it, to hear it reflected back through the words of another. I scarcely know where to begin. In sharing what proof I have with you, it is written down in dozens upon dozens of notebooks and references countless texts. Such a study must indeed be done in a study, and thus must wait until your arrival. So much more's the pity.
Study.
Yes, study is in studying,
Yeah.
and then study is in the place.
More just like quotation.
I have had an additional desk and some shelves brought into my office at the university so that you will have a workspace of your own when you arrive. If you should require additional space, I could clear out more of my own possessions. I do the bulk of my research at my home, however, which has on its grounds an operating theater and adjoining study.
How does he look over here? Oh.
Very good about it. Confused?
More intense music over here.
From time to time, I have hosted public demonstrations, including the occasional dissections of cadavers for the benefit of students in the greater biology department, but it is primarily a private space, and with such an abundant area in which to work, it would be selfish indeed not to offer all you might need of my university office to you.
Over here is a bit more intense for the music.
Hearing of your travels and being reminded of my thesis, you recently inspired me to take up additional field work. It's one thing looking into reports of demonic activities, setting up the vials and strips of film, waiting for chemical residue to enter into the vials, and then trickle up the film, making itself clear enough to take measurements.
I'll just switch back. Yeah. Now back to normal.
But it is another step forward entirely to try to outpace the subjects themselves. One might as well ask people if their homes were infested with rats. Finding a delicate way to imply that you believe someone's property to be possessed by a demon is tricky, and the same rhetorical stratagem will not work on two different people. The utmost discretion must be promised and upheld. My position at Anatic offers me some advantage and confers upon me an authority that the layman would lack. I go in as a ghostbuster. They're like, why?
Yes. Yeah.
But even then, I have little to offer unless I lie and claim that I have a means of removing the demon that plagues the people with whom I speak. I throw garlic everywhere, and then they're like, demon be gone.
Seems like it shouldn't be that intense to read this.
The largest destructive species, why do we refer to these categories of demon as species? I have increasing doubts that they reproduce as living creatures do, are simple enough to identify. Their cruelties are fierce and often cause property damage or even loss of life. And when the police as called, the papers are always filled with stories of triumphant battles. Such demons are rarely a match for a trained man with a pistol, but I am beginning to collect more and more tales of more subtle demons who act in the most erratic of manners. Small toys constantly found under the feet of parents, whispering things about their children, disappearing when I come to call, and then reappearing in their children's cradles later on. Small wriggling mounds that attach to the backs of people's mouths, blowing frigid air down their throats, preventing them from voicing concerns. Demons who lurk about vanity mirrors, leaving identical reflected messages in dripping ooze miles and miles apart from one another.
I can see why he would be kind of freaked out a little.
These subtle species, lonesome term, are infrequently reported to the authorities, and thus there is a woeful lack of research on them. I cannot speculate as to how many might be out there, but it is certainly more than the 5 commonly accepted species, and often I cannot validate these claims with my own eyes. It is only the superchemical readings that prove validity. I have been in one home, at least, where the readings were nearly double what I'd seen atop a church altar. I doubt that any gods were present in that church, but as for the home, I will be returning in a week. Those readings are much too fascinating to pass by. I look forward, as ever, to your return correspondence, and remain, as ever, your friend, Harold. What, not a good friend?
Not yet.
Well, they were good friends. Now they're not good friends. They're just friends.
No, the research is just intense right now. The 5th post-spring 1904. Nighttime. My good Harold. I knew that I was right. There was a doubt in my mind.
He doesn't like it.
And by the winds. When you step into a matter, you really leap with both feet. The paper flew. Do you ever read fiction by any chance? There's many of a morality play that would discourage you from such rash exploration of home undergoing to severe demonic possession. If I were to arrive in an itch only to learn your sudden and grisly demise, then I would be quite upset.
It's not like they could kill me. I'm fine.
Are you capable of self-defense? I am no scoundrel, but I have, in my time, blackened the eye of one or two obnoxious pirates, and could put my fist to work once more. But only if it was a very little demon, I must say. It is not cowardice that compels me to speak so. Simply that same clear-headedness you yourself mentioned. Still, chief among all the mysteries before me, the one I wish most to unravel is that of your preference.
Ooh. Well, he's getting excited.
In regards to drink, may I clarify? None of the other things.
Just gonna get you drunk.
Yes, some good drinks. I imagined you to be a man of refined palate, whereas I cannot tell a sherry from a... I do not know enough types of wine to list more than one, even for the sake of displaying my ignorance. However, do not suppose that makes me uncultured. It is true that at sea, spirits are both a vital pastime and source of nutrient. On our vessel, the captain not only transports rum, but her wife is familiar with the process of necessary and to produce it.
Her wife?
Yeah.
Huh.
She captain. She has several tricks which enable her to preserve plants for long periods of time, and these fresh ingredients allow her much freedom in the production of new and strange spirits. Indeed, her own experimentation formed the basis of my own fascination with chemistry when I was quite young. The ship can be a troublesome home, and I long for dry land. But her kindness and diligence are among the rare things I miss when I'm away.
He is not pleased.
Yes. All this is to say that, well, I am not...
He's very pleased.
Yeah. They cut out the music that was going good, but it's fine. Let's see. Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
Back. That was back. All of that to say, well, I may not be sampled age sherries or some form of dessert, white wines, or whatever it is, vogue in I have had rums and ice wines and ciders beyond compare. I plan to steal a bottle from them to bring along as a gift. Fret not about whether it will be missed, for what goes around comes around, as they say. I cannot exercise.
I cannot exercise.
I cannot
exercise
from my mind the idea of you so wittily leaping to the fray with demons, and again implore you to exercise caution. I have seen some demons in my travels, and the lengths to which local surgeons must go in order to remove them from the afflicted are ghastly and terrible. Yes, it's long. Yes, it is very long.
Did we keep going or one more?
Well, go with this last letter and see.
Who's?
It's still me. He just left. I don't know what happened. He's gone. You may be familiar with the removal of of man's parts in a
Man's
in a-
body parts.
man's body parts in a clean surgical setting from body of which has no use for them. But it is rather a different thing to see an arm or an eye ridden from an entity removed for the safety of its bearer. It is no calm, curious undertaking, but a noisy and fundamentally horrific one.
Yeah, and then somebody comes in, grabs their pots, and then throws them on the ground trying to find rubies.
You may think that I jest, or that, as a sailor's kin, I am partial to telling tales. But I do not think on these times with lurid amusement, and my otherwise pleasant thoughts of you become more grim indeed than when mixed with these grim memories. Thus remains cautious, and I shall remain. Your anxious friend.
So where'd he go?
I don't know, he disappeared.
He just stopped reading.
Oh, it's me again.
Huh.
It seems like it got more tense. Okay, we'll stop it right here and see how far it goes and stuff. But save! Yeah,
This one.
there we go. That one.
History.
Return.
Oh, there's the history.
Yep. Oh, excuse me. Alright, there then, if not.
Bye.